Welcome back. Just a short piece on context. I don't think that's going to get many likes, but there again, I think it's very important. Context. What does that mean? Well, again, it's a rare commodity now, and it's something that context is something that we should all be teaching people and learning ourselves. What's happened with this massive growth of information, the information age, what's happened is that we have all these facts, but we don't know how to assemble them into any meaningful structure. We don't know how to join the dots like we used to. The value of the essay at school probably is not as great as it was in my day. That's not to say in my day at school they got it right. I don't think that's the case. I think there were a lot of problems. We were funneled into certain types of learning. But stuff like advanced mathematics and studying of the classics were really there for us to have a broad knowledge so that we could put everything into context. So what is context? Well, context is that relating the facts that you see to your own experience. And it requires study and thought and time and discussion, open discussion. And one of the concerns that I have is that that open discussion isn't as prevalent at our schools and our universities and our institutions as it used to be. People are trained on a particular specialty, both in medicine but also in all aspects. And so less time is spent putting their particularly their specialty into context with everything else. Even if you get a PhD, it may help you explain yourself in all areas of life, but may not be too relevant if you're talking outside your particular specialty. But it does give you a certain kudos, and certainly it tells me and other people that you have put in the hours and hours and days and years of study and been able to focus and produce reasoned arguments. I mean, that's good. So what's happened in medicine, what's happened is that we, the general practitioners, have been the ones who have tried to connect all these dots. The specialties have become more sophisticated. The ear, nose and throat specialists now focus not just on ear, nose and throat, but on particular parts of the ear, particular parts of the nose, particularly parts of the throat. And that's good, but the same instance, they have a less understanding about what lies outside that very small area. And we as general practitioners have to cope with somehow knowing a bit about everything, but enough about everything to be totally safe and to advise people. The reason that we're in this privileged situation is that we know the person in front of us better probably than the specialist. Not always the case, but those specialists. Now that's under threat because now general practices tend to be large clinics with doctors doing rosters, and the person may not see the same doctor twice. And that is serious because it means that they're basically at risk from the subspecialists and the super specialists who don't quite see their condition in context of their lives. So you have to deal with that unraveling. So our job should become more important, but of course it's based on 6 minutes, so which is totally crazy. So that's the madness of the medical system, which ain't improving. However, I encourage everybody to study everything in context, and even though this may not get many likes or views because context is an incredibly boring word, I hope it sort of provokes some sort of discussion whether you agree with me or not. Please share, comment, whatever, join my YouTube channel, and make it even more interesting than it is at the moment. All the best. Bye.